Hi, everybody. My name is Beth Craig, and I'm coming to talk to you today about leave of absences. I love doing these quick reference videos. I'm going to continue to do them on topics that come up quite a bit. And I know where I came from. When anybody put in a leave of absence, it was a ton of paperwork. When I came to United Church Homes, I was re educated very well on not only the law, but our policy and procedure. And our procedure is to be done with ease, the community's time at basically the foundation. So let's learn a little bit more about the policy today, the procedure, and how us at central office can make your life a lot easier. So there are four main types of leave of absences. There's personal, medical, FMLA, and military. Military is very uncommon. We're not going to discuss it a lot in this video. We're going to stick to the top three most commonly requested. But no, with any of the LOA types, just reach out to HR. And if you're HR and you're like, I don't know what to do, just contact Candy Bean, your subject matter expert. And so, with personal and medical leave of absence, you have to be with United Church Homes for at least 60 days. So, if you call off before your 60th day for greater than 5 days, so you called off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday you call off again, you're basically on an unapproved leave of absence. And for those who have been there less than 60 days, there are no leave of absences. Of course, you would always review any times that you need to separate employment with an employee with Michelle Tillman first, because we don't want to be cold and heartless. We do want to review and make sure that this is an appropriate separation, but it's tough. So make sure you just talk to Michelle first before you move anywhere. But after 60 days, you are eligible for the top two, personal and medical. Personal means you can take up, I believe, up to 28 days, and then medical is up to 6 months. And so, looking at this is very commonly used for people before they're qualified for FMLA. So greater than 60 days and less than a year. And then when it comes to FMLA, that's a little bit different. That's a federal law. It stands for the Family and Medical Leave Act. It was signed into law in the 1990s by President Clinton. And so the important thing to remember, you have to be there 1 year and have worked 1,250 hours in that 1 year. So it is possible for somebody who is PRN to qualify for FMLA. We've had this debate. Actually, Michelle was talking about she had this debate with somebody, and I interjected and said, well, I had a PRN nurse apply for it because she was going to have surgery, which required at least 2 months of PT, physical therapy. And our policy said you had to work once every 3 months. So she applied for FMLA. It protected an entire 3 months of her PRN status, so she didn't have to work. We didn't have to reapply for work because that's exactly what would have happened. And so, yes, the government doesn't care if you're full time, part time, or a pineapple. You just got to be 1 year and 1,250 hours worked in that 1 year. There are two types of FMLA, intermittent and traditional. Intermittent is when you're taking your time off, not in sequence. You may take a Monday or a Tuesday, and then 3 weeks from now, a Thursday. It doesn't have to be a chunk of time. And then traditional is kind of like a chunk of time. So you'll have, like, say, a maternity leave. I took maternity leave for 12 weeks. I had a beginning and I have an end. And at the end of that personal illness or the personal FMLA or that personal medical leave of absence for a medical reason, I had to have a return to work note that said I can come back to full duty. And that you'll hear that commonly with us HR people. We need to have a return to work note, and that is just non-negotiable. That's part of the process. It's very, very important that we utilize the tools that we have. And so hopefully this part of the conversation is going to be irrelevant, but especially when it comes to COVID positive staff, we need to know. And when I say we, I mean Candy needs to know. Candy not only will help you track all this information that you got to keep a hold of when it comes to people returning to work and when, she also needs to document this with OSHA on the 300 log. So we need to over communicate with Candy when somebody tests positive, when their last day work, and then their COVID status in terms of positive status. So you guys are already documenting this, so you might as well just forward the document you're using to track that information anyways. We're not asking you to reinvent a process. We're just asking you to include us, human resources, more particularly Candy Bean, in the data so that she can document it in the OSHA form and also do the wonderful thing of help you track everything. So the questions about the process, here it is. Somebody requests leave of absence to me, the HR manager, or to you, the department head. It always goes to HR. The HR manager then sends an email to Candy that says, John Doe requested leave of absence paperwork. Candy will then send the leave of absence paperwork in the mail. And you think, well, why don't you just send me an email and I'll print it off and hand it to him? We also need to document this process. And I, as an HR manager, used to have to send certificate of mailings, and it was a big pain in the neck because I never got the documents back from the post office. Candy Bean, she's got some magic with her. She will put it all in the mail along with the physical requirements of the position, and then she will send the certificate of mailing and she will hold on to the documentation. And that's a beautiful thing because it's one less thing I had to worry about in working as an HR manager. And then once she gets the paperwork back, either directly to her from the physician or through the HR manager at the community, she'll then start not only review it, make sure it's accurate and qualifies. Thank you very much. She will also then start tracking the FMLA for you. So you don't have to worry about when does this person return to work, because she'll send you a note or pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, Beth, I just wanted to let you know John Doe needs to come back to work next week by Tuesday. Make sure you get a return to work slip to me. Thank you, Candy Bean. You just saved me because not only do I now have John Doe STNA returning to work on second shift, but now I didn't have to, apologize to everybody when I have forgotten this person was on an 8.5 week FMLA, and now Candy has saved me. Use Candy, guys. Use Candy. I did. It was great. She likes to be part of the communication hub and she wants to help you. So please do everything you can to over communicate your needs. As always, thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to your human resources partners. We're happy to help.